Well, can we just go back to the past? And on this subject of creating geniuses, who was one of the great geniuses?
Well, Da Vinci.
Da Vinci is exactly the man I was after. He was known to be a genius in his own time. I mean, they knew how astoundingly great he was. His brother Bartolomeo actually...
was an idiot. No, that's awful.
This Bartolomeo married, and he decided he wanted their child to be like his brother Leonardo. And oddly enough, it sort of worked. There's Leonardo dying, and it shows he was, you know, he was kind of worshipped almost. They realised how great he was.
What's Rodney Bewes doing in the background? It's defo Rodney Bewes.
He does look quite Rodney Bewes.
Rodney Bewes is the Highlander, is he?
What a weird, unsettling thing to discover that would be, in the context of the credit crunch and everything, suddenly to discover that Rodney Bewes was immortal. I mean, can you imagine on the news sort of going, and today it emerged that actor Rodney Bewes has been alive for as long as time.
So what is it? Given the things we've been talking about where I'm pretending to know what you're talking about, I actually really don't know who Rodney Bewes is.
Do you remember the Likely Lads and then whatever happened to the Likely Lads?
We didn't get that in Ireland, did we?
No. Oh, well, there was James Bolam and
I know Rodney who he is.
Well, Rodney Bewes. They played a couple of...
That's basically him there. All right.
Yeah.
Leonardo da Vinci's hand. And the chances of me meeting him in the future are very high.
Yes. And I have to say, the whole point about QI, right, is that the rest of the world talks about cultural things, reality TV and pop stars and Rodney Bewes, and we talk about Leonardo. And what you've done by coming on is we started... No, you, actually. We started talking about Leonardo and we've arrived at Rodney Bewes.
Well,
that's the wrong direction.
I didn't even know who he was!
You're right. You're so right. I'm sorry. I was very unfair on you, Graham.
I was wafting in the rarefied air of Leonardo.
You're right.
I think that...
The stink bomb of Rodney Bewes has exploded over there.
At the back, you're right.
To me, Rodney Bewes looks older there than Rodney Bewes in our present time. So I think Rodney Bewes must, in the future, travel back in time to check Leonardo da Vinci's pulse. They're absolutely sure he's dead. Using the futuristic technology of pulse checking. The others there are all going, what's this weirdo Rodney Bewes doing? See the one on the right? He's got his head in his hands. So embarrassing.
Why is he holding his hand? James Bolam.
Yeah. Yes, Leonardo was such a genius. He predicted the Likely Lads.
Because he wanted James Bolam and Rodney Bewes has turned.
That's why I was going, oh, no, it's Bewes. Yeah. I think the one on the right has definitely got his hand on his head for that reason.
Yeah. We ordered John Cleese and Connie Booth.
The one on the left is gesturing towards Rodney Bewes as if to say, Leonardo, who's this dick?
He's grabbed your hand.
He's going to go, seriously, Rodney Bewes? You want Rodney Bewes here as a doctor? Well, that's Matthew Kelly, anyway.
Oh, no! Oh, don't let it be Matthew Kelly. Oh, Lord. I've now got a horrible feeling that the Brian Blessed on the end has had his head sawn off. And his brain taken out. But he's no longer Brian Blessed. He's turned into somebody else. I don't know how that can be. Anyway. I wanted to discuss the fact that, unbeknownst to him, when Leonardo died, he had a nephew called Pierino, who was brought up to be a genius, and actually kind of was. He was sent to Florence, and he demonstrated great talent, but sadly, he died at age only 22, leaving 20 works behind him.
Pushed out of a window by Michelangelo?
Yes, or possibly by Mozart.
Working in tandem?
Yeah, exactly. The two, you can't...
Having stolen Rodney Bewes' time-travelling technology.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah. What can you tell me quite interesting while we're on the subject of Leonardo, aside from the fact that Rodney Bewes was his doctor, which I must say I didn't know? What can you tell me about The Last Supper?
Peterhouse Mitchell.
Did he sort of paint it... is it true the reason it's peeling so badly is he didn't listen to the people who were experts in that kind of painting, the way you're supposed to prepare the wall? He just said, no, I'm a genius, I know best, and sort of just slapped it on randomly.
Yeah,
and so as a result, it's decaying a lot worse than other sort of frescoes like that.
I mean, in his own lifetime, it started to fall apart. Yes, he painted it directly onto dry plaster instead of on wet plaster, which is what a fresco is. And then, sadly, in Napoleon's time, it was used as a sort of storeroom, or virtually as a dartboard, and stabling it was used as.
Yes, because the door was knocked through the tablecloth, wasn't it?
You can see, you should have been able to see Christ's legs, but they just added a door, so it was horribly vandalised in his own time there.
I'm surprised, because they must have thought it's a bit rubbish. It hasn't been done very well.
No, exactly.
All the other fresco painters are going, the thing about Leonardo da Vinci, he will not listen.
Yeah, exactly.
Did he paint people in that he knew?
I'm not sure in his case. It was obviously a thing that used to be done in Renaissance art. I think they're all fussing about it. I had the Peter bread, but I didn't have any wine, so I don't see why I should pay as much as Peter. And Simon Luke had that. I'm not paying for that.
It's very simple, because it is just a room of people being repelled by Jesus.
He is. And you know what Jesus is saying was at the last bloody supper I remember. And although, obviously, Leonardo was a fine artist, he didn't actually make any real contribution to science at all, did he? Or did he?
Flying machine? Was that a forfeit?
No, not a forfeit, but it just wouldn't have worked, his helicopter.
Yes, it's a drawing of a helicopter, isn't it? I mean, I did sort of drawings of spaceships when I was about 5, and I'd be embarrassed if someone said I'd invented interstellar travel.
But then, if he just did some paintings, what's the fuss?
Well, because his curiosity was so wide-ranging in machines of war and in anatomy and so on. But partly the reason he didn't contribute to science is he did actually make quite a few discoveries, is that he wrote a mirror-writing diary, which was also in code, that wasn't really looked at or interpreted until the 19th century, by which time almost everything he had discovered that might have been considered new 50, 100 years earlier had already been independently discovered. So in that sense, he didn't really contribute. But he's considered the prototypical genius, as you say, or archetypal Renaissance
Submarine?
man.
Did he come up with a submarine?
He might have done a drawing about submarines, I'm not sure. Did he?
Or was it the same drawing that he never actually did?
The Beatles who
He
came
just
up
did
with
a wavy line and coloured it in all blue and a thing, and then, like, kitchen.
Yeah. And
The big fish looking
man
in,
waving out.
And they were probably no room for a tennis court, practically thinking. You know.